Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we're being joined by Jim Jermanok, author of Beyond the Craft, What You Need to Know to Make a Living Creatively. Jim, welcome to the show.
Great to be here, Paul. Thank you.
Are you ready to get started?
Certainly am.
All right. Question number 1. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
Believe in yourself. This is very important. Believe in yourself. Trust yourself. You have the goods. You have the talent. You have the knowledge. Just go for it.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
Well, if you're trying to get it published in the orthodox way, I guess you'd call it, through publishing companies, it can be very difficult. I discovered that a how-to, a self-help book about making a living creatively that's geared towards actors, directors, producers, writers, singers, comedians, artists, musicians, photographers, designers, that's geared to those who are aspiring, working, or successful. You know, it was not easy to get published by a proper publisher because they feel that if somebody's going to do this kind of book in the entertainment business, they want someone who's very famous. So Jerry Seinfeld can get the phone book published, but I've had a very successful career, but I'm not at that level, obviously. And it was very difficult, so I published it myself.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that has worked well.
I haven't promoted my book as well as I should have, and I haven't used all the marketing strategies I would like to. Having interviews with people like you is certainly one of my strategies. I'm starting to get a number of interviews. So certainly podcast interviews, certainly making use of any social media you're on. I suggest Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter as a start. And continually letting your network know what you have done. Another strategy of mine is I do workshops around the world on the art and business of screenwriting, on the subject of my book, or Beyond the Craft, What You Need to Know to Make a Living Creatively, or basically it's creative entrepreneurship or creative career success. And I also do a workshop on making your project happen, successful film and TV producing and financing. And so at those workshops, I certainly sell books and let them know that I have a book.
Well, speaking of books, I'm sorry, go ahead.
The book is available not only via paperback, but also there's an audiobook that we have by the company Essential Audiobooks.
Well, and speaking of books, I'd like to ask, what is your favorite book, and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
I've worn a lot of different hats in my career. I'm a writer, director, producer of film and TV and theater. I'm also a speaker, as I said. But previously, I was an agent, and I represented Dudley Moore, Shirley MacLaine, Arthur Miller, Alan Arkin, H. Norman Schwarzkopf, to name a few. And I got a book called Getting the Yes, which is about sales. And that really changed my life because it made clear how bold and aggressive one has to be now and then.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
I think one of my favorite quotes is, if you want to achieve greatness, stop asking for permission.
Excellent.
The whole theme of my book is how to get to the next level of your creative career without relying on others, whether they're agents or managers or producers or what have you. And it's kind of in the same vein. Stop waiting for other people, to give you permission or approval. Just make it happen.
Excellent. Well, Jim, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
Well, I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, and I also can be reached via my website, which is www.jimjermanok.com. That's JIMJERMANOK. www.jimjermanok.com.
Well, Jim, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey
It's
ahead.
my great pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how you can be featured in our brand new Get Published business book, go to getpublishedpodcast.com.